Yo, what's poppin', Low Gang? Today we're going to be doing the final rant of February. Let's go. I tried to record a rant yesterday. I go into it in Minnie's rant about my escapade with the computer issues. I thought for a second I'd have to tell the patrons that I can't do their rants because computer broken. But we're so bagel back, bros. This one comes from Bedoofus, who says, "I'm back." Oh, he's back too. "I will give you Haruhi Book 2 next month. So good on the heads up there. I know I'll have to read an entire novel for it. I wouldn't read an entire novel except for the fact that it's Haruhi and I actually like Haruhi. Anyway, this month, I want you to listen to Somewhere City by Origami Angel. He misspells origami. Minor spelling mistake, argument annihilated. Ugh. Bedoofus. Origami Angel. Somewhere City. Oops, I forgot to say that. Alright, this album, let me tell you, man, it's good. I hate, it was like pulling teeth saying that, complimenting Bedoofus's taste in media, one of the most painful things man can go through. I'm kidding, but no, this is unironically probably my second favorite album I've been forced to review during the span of time that I have been doing these Patreon rants. Because everyone just wants me to listen to albums just constantly. Redneck set the trend, Neon continued it, and Bedoofus saw the potential in the album grind, the force Crunchy Bagels to listen to an album grind set. And I liked this one. So let's talk about that. So, Somewhere City by Origami Angel. The album's concept is essentially this idea of the Somewhere City being a representation of finding happiness. Just finding a place in life where you are happy. And it even explicitly says, hey, yo, like, this isn't a physical place. The city is in your head, right? It's about getting to a good headspace, and that involves surrounding yourself with the right people and working through your personal issues such that you don't feel like shit all the time. And something about this album, I'll tell you what the vibe it gives me is. This is something that I would put on in the car with all my friends, driving down the highway, just blasting it as loud as possible while we're all together and probably singing the lyrics. That is the type of album that it is. It almost feels like I am getting the inferior experience by just sitting in my bedroom listening to it by myself, because it really feels like that. Another artist it reminds me of is Cave Town. I haven't actually listened to many of their songs, but the ones that I have listened to, they sound relatively similar and have the same tone and atmosphere, and also, you know, these sort of rock-ish poppy songs geared towards people who are like, I'd say late millennials, early zoomers, so literally just like me for real. And people, you know, from that age group, so, you know, like Cave Town. And yeah, they've got the same sort of sound. And yeah, it's hard to even really know how to put it into words because it feels paradoxically extremely broad and extremely specific in the way it presents itself. Because on the one hand, the lyrics are, you know, can be a bit overly general at times. So, for example, to draw another parallel to Cave Town, I think the songs from Cave Town that I have heard of have better lyrics and more personality within the writing than this album. I think this album, its weakest point is actually its lyrics, where it can feel a bit, like I said, a bit overly broad. And, you know, granted, if the lyrics I like are from Will Wood and Lemon Demon. Those two will pretty much always be the GOATs. These people with very, very specific writing styles. But nonetheless, like, they're still fine enough. They aren't terrible or anything. But paradoxically, even though the lyrics can be somewhat broad, Yeah, like it feels so geared towards this specific, like the specific age group that I am in. It feels like almost hyper representing of that group of people, which is why the image of listening to it with my friends on a car ride comes to mind. Because not only do the songs' energy just have that vibe and fit that setting, but it's also something that no one would, scrunch their nose to and, wrinkle their face like, oh, this is disgusting. No one's gonna do that because it's so fucking indicative of this generation of people, in society right now, that it's like, yeah, all of my friends would like this. Literally all of them. I cannot think of a single person that I am friends with who would not at least mostly like this album. Yeah, none of them would dislike it. And I think that is. I don't even know exactly how to feel about it. All I know is that I'm being marketed too well because I really like this album. Specifically, its sound. I think its sound and the general catchiness of the songs is its best aspect, where even if the lyrics aren't necessarily as good as a lot of other songs I listen to, the sound more than makes up to it. They're all pleasant to listen to. The guitars in particular are, always well mixed, and not just well mixed, but mixed in a very specific way where they just sound good. They sound nice and crunchy and meaty and, full of sound. And it's like, yeah, I want to hear that guitar go all day because it's so fucking good sounding. And as well, a lot of the song structure can be a bit surprising. The songs are typically very short, with the exception of the last one. I guess technically, what songs are they? There's two songs that are played back to back because they lead into each other. So it would be, yeah, Escape Rope and the title track. Those two are played together, and they're over 4 minutes when played together, but on their own are more like 2 minutes. And that's a lot of the songs in this album. Most of them are under 3 minutes. And, you could say, oh, well, that doesn't give the songs much time to develop. But at the same time, I also think it fits, like I said, the vibe of you put these on while you're on the road with friends, and they're just all super fast-paced and energetic. And I don't think they necessarily need to be these big, 4-minute things, because they're not really built like that in terms of the sounds. I think they're very well suited to their length and their energy. And I think keeping them short does, help maintain the nigh perpetual, fast-paced feel of the songs. The themes, I went into it a little bit earlier, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff about, feeling depressed, but there's a lot of emphasis on the small moments of hope, and that leads me into what is probably my favorite song on the album, Dr. Hoomst, which, first of all, title goes hard, and secondly, the reason why I like this one so much is it's the embodiment of a very specific feeling that I resonate with very particularly. And, granted, this is probably something most people, especially around my age, have experienced before, but it's this moment of fleeting bliss, I guess. And it starts off as a feeling of extremely heavy nostalgia, and then it turns into this overall positive outlook on your life and the world. And this song is literally just that feeling. It is literally just explaining that feeling. I have some of the lyrics just screenshotted. Oh my god, I feel just how I used to feel. Watching Danny Phantom eating Happy Meals. Every night at 7, watch my favorite shows. Never really worried about the to and fro's of the way life goes. It's a time machine. Or it's like a time machine just brought me there, wiped away my thoughts and cares, and re-embraced the daylight there. Or maybe, just maybe, I'm starting to feel like myself. I think I'm right where I need to be. And it goes on, right? However, in the context of the album, there's actually something I really like about it, because it within its place in the album, it fucking perfectly encapsulates the idea of fleeting, sudden bliss. Where at the end, it's this quote from Star Trek, "Laddie, don't you think you should rephrase that?" And then he fucking rephrases it with "say less," which is about feeling like shit because someone is being a bully to him, and he's just being a hater. Haters gonna hate. And, literally the first lyrics are, "I can feel the disdain in your eyes laughing at me as I walk away. Maybe I would be just fine if I could change everything that's wrong with me, but it's not that easy." Yeah, mind you, the last song had lyrics like, "I think I'm starting to like myself." So, yeah, real quick turnaround there. Hey, yo, bucko. And lyrics from that song are actually played in the final song of the album, which is about being in Somewhere City, this proverbial city that, is called Somewhere City because it's not in any specific place. It's not even a place. It is a place within your mind. And, it's talking about reaching that place, and it's playing lyrics from past songs with a fixation on the happy moments from them, in a part that is legitimately gave me chills. I think that is probably the most emotionally powerful song of the album in terms of its construction, even if I relate to Dr. Hoomst more. Also, yeah, just random side note, the titles of the tracks all go really hard. Like, 666 Flags. That's fucking brilliant. Escape Rope, it's a Pokemon reference. Yeah, and even, fucking... Well, okay, none of them go quite as hard as the ones that I just read out now that I come to think about it. But even, like, let's say 24-hour drive-through, that title perfectly encapsulates the vibe of the song, of going out to a fast food place in the middle of the night, in the middle of the pouring rain, because you just want to hang out with your friends a little bit. And, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of emphasis on these, little moments of happiness contrasted against depression. And, I like that about it. It's not a completely toothless album, even if it does feel overly broad at times. So, yeah, overall, I mean, it's at least an 8 out of 10. I'll think on it more before deciding if I should raise it, but it'll probably end up just being a really strong 8. I liked it, though. I think it's a really good album. That's about it. See ya.